Shalom Israel, and welcome to another edition of Yasharalah's 20-minute breakdown, where I'll attempt to break down the scriptures within 20 minutes. But first and foremost, as always, you know how we do. We give all praises to Yahweh, Bahar Shem, Yahweh Shai, Waha Rekah Kadash, and the Akims and the elders in the highways and byways pushing this word in truth and sincerity, all praises. And the elder women teaching the younger women, all praises to you too. And the camps and the solo brothers going out there making videos, edifying the body, pushing the truth according to scriptures, all praises. Now, what I want to touch on today is the title, Warning, 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 a trumpet being blown. Now, this is what we do constantly. We come out week in, week out to warn our people that judgment is coming, and the trumpet we're blowing is the scriptures, warning you that if you don't get yourself right by the time the Most High Yahweh sends back Yahweh Shai to judge this earth on all that we have and haven't done, there's going to be certain calamities that's going to face you. So these lessons that we do constantly is to try to warn our people to get yourself right before that day of judgment, because it's not, that day of judgment ain't going to tarry for long. So we have to be ready now. Don't wait till judgment comes and then we start running around like headless chickens. Lord, 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 help me. He would have helped you if you only use that grace period that we were given through the death of Yahweh Shai and his, burial and resurrection. That grace period we were given to get ourselves right. If we use that correctly and stop misusing scriptures to try to seem like we don't have to keep the law because we're under grace and we have faith, if we stop misusing them scriptures, we would have been right. So by the time judgment is being rained on this earth, the Most High would have guided us, those who have kept the commandments as best as they can to their ability and had faith in Yahweh Shai and use grace to get yourself right. Use that grace period as in to get yourself right, not a grace period to just continually being wicked. So this is why the shofar is being blown, to warn our people that this comfortable lifestyle that you're living now is not going to endure forever. So the only way you can have any tranquility and peace and even be a ruler in the kingdom is to hear this warning and be obedient to the law, statutes, commandments, which is to be obedient to Yahweh through Yahweh Shai. That's the only way. Otherwise, it's a done deal. You're done for. And I'm going to open up this lesson with Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 10. And then, we're going to read other scriptures. It's not a long lesson. I always say that, but, forgive me. It's just a point to show that the reason why that shofar is being blown, it's a warning, to get yourself right before that terrible day of the Most High comes and catches you napping, is what you don't want to happen. So that's all I'm saying on that matter. So with that said, I'm going to read my first scripture, which is Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 10. And then, we're going to go on from there and make my point, and boom, there we have it. So with that, I'm going to start my timer in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hold on. Boom! We're away. Let's go. Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 10, and it reads, "To whom shall I speak and give warning that they may hear? Behold, their ear is uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the word of the Lord Yahweh is unto them a reproach. They have no delight in it." And that's the problem with our people. many times we go out there and we try to show people that, listen, we have to keep the commandments. We have to keep the laws. Oh, the laws are done away with because now, Paul said, we're not under the law, we're under grace. Paul said, it's abomination to keep the law. They go into Paul said, oh, we're under grace. No. We have, we have faith. It's no longer by the law of righteousness. It's by faith. This is how they use the scriptures incorrectly. But you should know, faith without works is dead. When Paul talks about not keeping the law, he always adds somewhere along faith and grace, showing you that he is referring to animal sacrifices that we used to do, to be righteous. Now, it's through faith, but it doesn't mean you negate the laws. That's where people is missing the point. Doesn't mean you no longer have to keep the actual laws. The only law we no longer keep is the law of animal sacrifice. Because now we have grace through Yahushua Christ. We have grace through Christ. So now you're not judged right away. You'll be judged later. So meaning you have time to get yourself right. And that's what this warning is all about. Now, with that said, I'm going to jump to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 17, and it reads, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. And that's the Most High raising up brothers and sisters who knows this Bible, knows how to break down scriptures, knows what the word of God actually means and what it's saying, and he's sending them out to give warning to his people, i.e. in person, i.e. online now, as we have that, facility, or, even just the way we carry ourselves. All that is a warning. Now, watch this. I'm going to jump to the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 6, and it reads, Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord Yahweh has not done it? That's rhetorical, showing you that the Most High God is behind everything. Yeah, and now let me just quickly say something. Now, when it says, shall there be evil in a city, the evil this is talking about, it's not talking about the evil how we do, because everything the Most High does is righteous. But obviously, it may seem evil to us because it affects us in a negative way. But when you look up that word evil in that verse, it's the Strong's H7451, the word ra'ah, meaning adversity, calamity, distress, showing that it's not per se evil as in wrongdoing, how we do things unrighteously. This evil is calamity, righteous judgment being brought upon people of disobedience. That's what this evil is. Now, I'm going to jump to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verses 1 through to 6. Listen to this. Ezekiel 33 and verse 1, and it reads, Again, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, verse 2, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people. See that? Of your people, not all people, of your people. Yeah, it says, Speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, When I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast, and set him for their watchman. Verse 3. If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet, and warn the people. Verse 4. Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet, and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. Verse 5, he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. Verse 6, but if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. And there's why I definitely do what I do, because I know what's coming. I've read the scriptures. I know what's coming. And I am blowing the trumpet, giving you warning. Some will adhere, and some will not. Those who listen and start to get themselves right, it will be well with you. But those who don't listen, you will be taken in your iniquity, but it won't be my fault, because I warned you and you chose to ignore the warning. Now, listen to this. This is how I'm commanded to do this. This is Isaiah 58 and verse 1, and it reads, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. So you see, this is why I cry aloud. I do speak loud, especially when I'm on the street. Sometimes people say, oh, quiet down. No, we're commanded to cry aloud, spare not. We are not rude, but we don't care about your feelings. We say, thus saith the Lord, whether you like it or not. Sometimes the truth is the truth is raw, the truth is raw, and it sometimes can hurt someone's feelings, not intentionally, but we just give the plain truth. We won't water it down. Obviously, if we're speaking to somebody underage, yeah, we'll, water it down. But as an adult, we'll tell you as it is. And it's not meant to, it's not meant to show any sign of disrespect or to offend. But it's for you to be aware that this is no joke. That's the thing. This ain't no joke that's going on here. The Most High is very serious, because you got to remember, when you look back at many times when the Most High rains judgment upon the earth, remember he delivered the Israelites from the Egyptians and got rid of all the Egyptians that went into the sea after the Israelites. Also, even when you even go further back unto where Noah was spared, like him and his family, because remember, the Most High spared Noah's wife, his 3 sons, and their wives. 8 people survived the flood, and everybody else was killed. So we have to bear in mind and remember what kind of power that we're dealing with. Yeah, so you can't play with the Most High. And you can't pretend to serve him, because he knows your heart. He knows if you're doing this sincerely or not. Now, with that said, I'm going to jump to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verses 21 to 22. And it reads, Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 21. How long shall I see the standard and hear the sound of the trumpet? So say, how long do I have to keep warning people before they listen? That's what's going on here. Verse 22 of Jeremiah chapter 4. For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. Now you see that? Showing that, yeah, we're always good at doing the wrong things that the Most High hates. We're good at doing that. But doing the things that he loves, we have a problem. Now, when you look in this verse, Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22, where it says, they are wise to do evil. Now, I want to show you this evil is different from the evil in Amos 3 and 6. Now, watch this. This evil in Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22 is the Strong's H7489, and the word there is ra. Not like in the verse I read to you earlier, which is Amos 3 and 6, where it says, shall there be evil in a city? That evil is Strong's H7451, and that evil is Ra'ah, adversity, calamity, and distress. Now, in what I just read you, with referring to us as people who they are wise to do evil, this evil is the Strong's H7489, and it's the word Ra, meaning bad, displeasing, wicked. So just wanted to show you there that it's two different Hebrew words, showing you that the evil in Amos 3 and 6, where the Lord brings evil in a city, that is calamity. It's not the evil that we do, unrighteous evil. But when you go to Jeremiah 4:22, that evil there is a different Hebrew word, and it's bad, displeasing, wicked. See, what is bad? Displeasing to the Most High, because we will not for anything keep his commandments. That's the problem there. Now I'm going to jump to the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 1, and it reads, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, in Israel, the Israelites, to the Israelites, because another word for the Israelites is Zion. Yeah? Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So showing that day of judgment is approaching fast. So if you're going to keep hearing this warning and not get right, then it's on your own head. Now, check this out. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 19. And the sound of a trumpet, and the voice of words, which voice they that heard entreated that the word should not be spoken to them anymore. And that's a big issue, because when we go out and push the word, a lot of people don't want to hear that they have to keep the commandments of the Lord. They just all believe that no, we're under grace, we have faith, you're saved by faith now, we have grace. That's what they're on. They don't want to hear that they actually have to do something. And that's an issue right there, because people want to believe that they can just be wicked, say they believe, and just waltz into the kingdom, just like that. Now, with that said, I'm going to read Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 14, and it reads, they have blown the trumpet, even to make all ready, but none goeth to the battle. For my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Because we're blowing this trumpet. We're warning people. And all people want to say, oh, no. That's Moses' law. Well, Moses didn't write anything. When I say per se right, meaning every law Moses gave came from the Most High. Moses went up to Mount Sinai and he received the laws. The only ones that the Israelites heard for themselves was the first 10. But after that, when they saw that, they heard the thundering and the smoke and the lightning and the mountain smoking, they got afraid, and they said to Moses, you know what? You go up and get them. They don't want to hear the Lord speak lest they die. You get the laws and we hear you. But now to this day, nobody wants to hear Moses. Everybody says, oh, that was Moses' law. We're under the law of Christ now. Not realizing it's the same laws, because Moses didn't actually write anything per se to give anybody. Everything Moses delivered was from the Lord anyway. The only thing that now that is replaced since Christ came on the scene is animal sacrifice. We no longer sacrifice an animal to get ourselves right. Now we have faith in Christ, but we still have to strive to keep the commandments of the Lord. It's that simple. With that said, I'm going to jump to the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verses 14 to 18. Listen to this. Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 14, and it reads, the great day of the Lord Yahweh is near. It is near. It hastened greatly. even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Yeah, they will be crying indeed. Verse 15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Oh yes. Verse 16, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. Verse 17, and I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Oh yes, it's going to be that bad, believe it or not. Verse 18, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even the speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So, you know what? That is clear as glass. I don't even have to add to that. So, conclusion. Keep the law, statute, commandments, and have faith in Yahushua. It's the only way that what I just read in the book of Zephaniah, you will be guided through. So, I think I've made my point. I'm going to leave it here. I haven't timed out. But what I am going to do is finish off with Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. And it reads, Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. This is the conclusion. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. That's your whole purpose for being on this earth. Verse 14, for God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So whether you're doing good, there'll be judgment. That judgment will be good for you. Or whether it be evil. So if you're doing what is against what the Most High God commanded you to do, that judgment will be bad for you. So you know what? It's on you. The trumpet is being blown. It's being blown. It's being blown. What you do from here onwards, it's on your own head. So with that, this is Yasharallah. We out.